Did you know that pre-tournament, we actually did a drive debate, and the question was, is Jack Grealish a certain starter for England? Do you believe that? We actually asked that question.
Well, yeah, of course we would have asked it, and I think we all thought, yes, look at his performance leading into it. It was excellent, wasn't it? In the games leading up to it. So I thought it was absolutely in the bag. But he's put everybody in there, other than him, really. He's trusted everybody in there. Yes, he's brought him on. He's used him as kind of an impact. But I think we all, even though England got to the final and done so well to get to the final, and Gareth Southgate has got most of his team sheets right throughout the tournament because we got to the final, there's still that air of like disappointment, but Grealish didn't get more game time. Look what he brought. Every time he come on, he lifted everyone. He lifted the players on the pitch, he lifted the supporters. There was a buzz around it, wasn't there?
I think that he started against Czech Republic, so nobody can say he didn't get a start. He did get a start.
And he was good in that game.
He did really well, yeah.
First half, he was excellent.
When he was on the pitch, I thought he did enough to say, yeah, I'm here for a reason. I can contribute to this team. I thought there was nothing saying to me, well, he's never going to get in the team with that performance. I think when we get to the final, that's when it really hits home. You've got to start believing that Gareth Southgate doesn't fully trust Jack Grealish. The reason I say that is because he came on late in the final. Wasn't really given enough time to get involved, to get into the game, to try and make the difference. You know, he needs the ball at feet. He's going to win free kicks. He's going to suss out and worry his opponent. He needed to get on the ball and draw those yellow cards that would have the Italians on the back foot, staying away from him, not going in for the challenge, not risking a second yellow. Didn't have time to do all of that. And then you get to the penalties. And we said yesterday, didn't we? It's apparently in one of the papers, or online in one of the papers today. But we said yesterday that we knew the 1 to 5 order. We believed that Pickford was 6th and Phillips was 7th. So he wasn't even top 7 for your penalty taker. The keeper was ahead of him.
But you saw the pictures, and we mentioned this yesterday, but he was pointing to Grealish during that shootout. So it's almost like, to me, as though he'd give him a number, which he might have been 8, or he might have been 9. I don't know.
I thought he was just asking him if he wanted a penalty. That's what I thought.
I'd have thought he would have known that before. Now, the reason I don't think he was one of the top 5 or top 6 or top 7, because the game before, he took him off when it could have gone to penalties. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So he took him off. So that gave me the feeling. And the similar thing in the final, I thought he could have took Grealish off again. But he took Henderson off, who he had decided wasn't going to be a penalty taker because he missed one.
Well, he's missed his last 2 for England,
Well, he missed it when he came on as obviously wanted to get off the mark with a goal, didn't he?
Which he did in the end, in the tournament. But with Jack Grealish, I think that kind of, to me, said it all. I was prepared to give Gareth Southgate the benefit of the doubt because he'd done so well in the tournament. In the final, when we needed a bit of magic and needed a winner, Jack Grealish needed more time. Why wasn't he given a penalty as well? And the reason I ask that is because this is an experienced player. He's been around a long time playing football, Premier League, before they got relegated to the Championship, stayed with him in the Championship, come back up, playing Premier League, wowing crowds. I believe he has taken a penalty in the past. He's a Premier League captain. This is a man who knows about leadership and responsibility, whatever you think of Jack Grealish. So why on earth wasn't he given a penalty to take in that shootout? I cannot understand that at all. So is there a reason? Is there something we're missing? Gareth Southgate has good reason not to trust Jack Grealish. He came out, didn't he, and tweeted he was up for a penalty because I think Roy Keane on telly had said, well, why wasn't Sterling or Grealish taking a penalty ahead of Saka? Well, he's come out and said, I put my hand up. I wanted to take a penalty. Now, you can interpret that in different ways. That's basically him saying, hang on a minute, I've done all I can, over to the manager.
But listen, that's the way it should be. It's all right in volunteering, but Southgate's still going to make the decision. He sees the guys, and we asked Faye yesterday. Remember Faye came on and she said, they've been practising penalties all the time. So Gareth Southgate, on what he's seen, made the choice and who was going to take the penalties. Now, you can't criticise him for that. I think the order might be different because the amount of pressure I talked about when you're in those situations, in games, whatever sport you play, and you try and stay focused, but there will always be that little bit of negativity in there. You know what I mean? It's very hard to control your heart rate. It's really, really hard. Breathing, obviously, is the key to it, but it's very hard to stay calm in those situations. Now, for Saka, having never taken a competitive penalty, no matter how good he's been in practice, to suddenly, out there, taking his first penalty in a European Cup final, well, yeah, in the Euros, in the final against Italy, the last one, knowing if he misses, we're out. Can you imagine the feelings he would have been in? That's the only thing you could question, but he gives that teenager that penalty. Now, if he'd have put it away, for someone we'd have been saying how cool was Saka, 18 years old, and putting a ball in the bottom left-hand corner, whatever it was. We'd have been saying that, but he missed.
Yeah. And I'm left wondering why Jack wasn't trusted by the manager to take a penalty.